Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to your year ahead reading for 2024. I'm so excited to take a look at what's coming up for the year. So I'm splitting this up into 4 sections. Instead of doing 12 months, I'm going to do each season. So we're going to do like fall, spring, winter, spring, summer, fall. That's how we're going to do it because we start off January right at the beginning of winter. So I'm going to get a card that represents the year overall, the major arcana. Then we're going to do one oracle card. I got 3 decks here. One for each of the seasons. And the 3 decks I have, this is really cool. When I was picking my decks to do this, I'm like, oh, let's figure out how I want to do this, yada, yada, yada. As it turned out, I ended up doing, the first deck is about journey. The second deck is about map. And the third one is about guides. So what journey are you taking? What journey is going to happen in 2024? The map, the direction, right? Where is it that you want to go? How are you going to get there? And then the guide is going to be like any help that comes along the way. So I've got my 4 piles now for the 4 seasons. And then what I'll do is I'll grab the tarot cards as we go through them. So let's look at the overall energy for the year. We have judgment, call to action, light bulb moment, aha moment. There is something that you are being called to do in 2024, Capricorn. I love that. So let's start and take a look at our January, February, March energy. Probably a good idea if I put my glasses on so I can read the cards. The first one is humor. It says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. So this is the journey. This is about having fun. This is having a good time no matter what is going on. And Capricorn, I know I'm a fellow Capricorn. For those of you who don't know, if you're new, hey, welcome. We tend to be seen as more serious, which we are, but we have a great sense of humor and we have a fun side too. It's really important for us to tap into that in 2024 when we're looking at the first few months of the year. Have a good time as we're starting to pull everything together. And the map is rock bottom. It's like, in order for us to see the humor in a situation, it actually has to get really bad. And I'm saying this with a light heart. I'm not feeling like this is a doom and gloom thing, okay? And the guide to come along with this, guardian angel. So we have a guardian angel with us all along this journey. There is always going to be that one entity with us throughout the whole year. That is not going to change. I really like that energy. So let's get our tarot cards to go with this. So we're going to get 3 to go with our 3 cards. What have we got? Okay, so in the winter months, our January, February, March, first quarter, we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. Then we have the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the 4 of Pentacles. What I'm getting, remember how we talked about how the journey is humor? The map is rock bottom, okay? I think the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Pentacles is our rock bottom in the first 3 months. It's around a relationship or a connection that goes sideways. Something doesn't work out. Something is off with this. And along with that is stuff that's of a project or what do you call it? A job or some kind of task that you're working on and trying to like really get noticed about. Like you really want that kudos, right? That win in your pocket, and it's not coming. And what this ends up being is our 4 of Pentacles energy, where it's like, I don't feel like I have to hold everything close and not share with anyone. It's more of, it feels more like a 4 of Swords energy, to be honest. More like I need to just keep everything to myself, but I need to regroup at the same time. Okay, so that's the start to the year. Yeah, it sounds a little rocky and more annoying than anything. But I think as we go through that first quarter of 2024, that humor card is going to be important. It's like, just let it go. Just laugh at it. Laugh at it because you know things are going to come together. So let's take a look at what happens when we get into the spring. The first card that came out, so this is our journey, right? We go from humor to envy. And it says, I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. I think the humor part is going to flow into this envy card by saying, you know what? You need to look at the lighter side of life and learn to laugh at yourself and everybody else because you are doing too much comparing to others. That's why this envy card has come up. And the map to get us where we need to go is intention. What do you want? I think in the first quarter, things are too all over the place. You're not as focused as you need to be, and that's why things aren't taking off. That's why things kind of need to tank a little bit in the first quarter. Then when we get into the second quarter, you kind of start figuring things out. You're like, okay, this is what I want to do. All right. And then when we look at the guide, so the guide that'll be along, the energy that comes with the guide who's going to be with you through the second quarter, the card says cut the cords. This is going to be a guide, and it could be your guardian angel still with you. Could be an angel, could be a spirit guide. Cutting the cords is letting go of anything that doesn't work. I think there's been a lot of time spent on things that just weren't worth it. And you're not, it's like you've seen it in 2023, but it wasn't as obvious as it should be, or you've had the blinders on. And even in the first quarter, I think there's still some of that. There's still going to be a few lessons to learn, and it's the second quarter, right? The springtime when things start to come up and start to bubble. But it's because you put out the intention for what you want, and you leave behind anything that hasn't worked. It's starting over. It's starting with a fresh slate. So springtime is a perfect time for that. The tarot cards that came out to support this are the Ten of Swords in reverse, which is wonderful. It's where you felt like you hit rock bottom. Remember that rock bottom card, right? In the first quarter. Now that's over and things are turning around. I love that. The next card that came out is Judgment, which is our overall energy. Remember, I said for the year, the Judgment card is it. It's in the springtime when it starts. And this is going to flow through the whole year because the Judgment card is the overarching theme. This is really good. Springtime is it. Springtime is a really good time. And then we have Six of Cups. I think this is the letting go because it would have been right under the cut the cords. Anything from the past that wasn't working, you got to let it go. Very wise, what's the word I'm looking for? Advice regardless, but this is really important when you get into springtime. As we move into summer, right? So now we're looking at July, August, September kind of time frame. The first card that came out, so this is the journey part. The card is Pride, and it says, I love myself, and I see myself in everyone. I think it's like, I want to say it's like reverse self-actualization. I think you are aware of yourself. Now you're aware of everybody else. This is a big growth period is what I'm feeling. What else do we have? For the map, we have Moonlight. Make sure that you're uncovering everything you need to. Make sure that you're cleaning out the cobwebs, you're dusting out the corners. Make sure that you are understanding everything that is involved in what you're doing. I think that's kind of going to unfold organically because of that Pride card. When you see the value in others, this is when things come to light, and this is when things really kick off. And then when we look at the card that came out under Guide, hang on, does that say what I think it does? I need my glasses. Signs and reminders. You're going to have those signposts along the way. You may even have some stuff crop up from earlier in the year. Maybe just gentle reminders to go, hey, remember that behavior? Remember when you did that thing and you hit rock bottom? Yeah, remember you don't want to do that again. So you may have some reminders as you go through the month. But those are guideposts, right? And when we look at the tarot cards that came out for that third quarter, so our time in summer, right? We have Nine of Pentacles, which is a card of independence, which is awesome. Then we have Temperance, but it's in reverse. And we have the Four of Swords. Here we go, Four of Swords energy. I mentioned that when I saw the Four of Pentacles in the first quarter in the winter time, that it felt like a Four of Swords energy. You really do come into that as the summer wraps up. And I think this is kind of what do you got? Not upset. That's the word that came to me, but that's not the right vibe I'm getting with it. Imbalance, right? Things start getting a little imbalanced, but that is to force you to take a break. And this is coming out with that Independence card. You're going to have to kind of go it alone for a bit once we get into the fall. Okay? Once we get into those later months of the year, you're really going to be feeling that, which is not a bad thing. Like, I actually like the energy of this so far. Yeah, the first quarter is going to be a little dicey, but it's not feeling like it is as we go through the year. I'm going to throw in a caveat before we now look at the end of the year, right? So as we get into the fall months, going from October, November, December, remember that Judgment card, right? This is unfoldment throughout the whole year. This is working on that aha moment. This is working on that call to action through the whole year. It's not going to happen overnight, you see. So now when we take a look at the cards for the fall, so we're at the end of the year, the end of 2024, the card that came out is Doubt. So this is the journey, and it says, I release the need to know all the answers. You're going to have to trust. I think everything that happens through 2024 brings you to that what's the word I'm looking for? Like that culmination, that crescendo of, I'm ready to let go and trust. I think it's going to take you a while to get there. And that's not a bad thing either. That is the journey. The map. Oh, does that say what I think it does? It does. Golden Palace. So because this is the map, this is you letting go and you following your North Star. Okay, it almost feels like star energy to me with that card. Very like it's your guiding light. Do you see what I mean? It's that goal, right? That prize at the end of the race kind of thing. And I think it's all tied into this Judgment card. It's this thing that you need to do. And when we look at the guide in this, we have courage and bravery. I think that Four of Swords energy, the stuff that was happening in the summer, right, was setting you up for what needs to happen in the fall. I think it's in the fall, so at the end of the year when you hit the ground running. Wow. This is pretty wild. This is some pretty cool stuff. I like it. Like I said, I'm not thrilled about the first quarter. I think it's going to be a little challenging, but it is what it is. And we're Capricorns. We can handle any challenges that come our way. Okay, let's see if there's more. I'm getting us just a nice little message. This is through the deck called Divine Doors. What door are we going to be walking through, Capricorn, in 2024? We have two cards. The first one is Morning Memory. And it says, its healing gift runs a destined course. The morning dawn, our inspired source. And then it says, meditate under the sun. Spend some time in the morning out in the sun. Take a few minutes, few quiet minutes if you can. Even if, you know, you're so rushed in the morning and you're going to work. When you get there, sit in your car for a minute, 60 seconds, and just take a deep breath. Sit there while the sun's streaming in, even if you get outside of your car. Soak up a few rays. Try and do that as much as you can. And the second doorway, it's draw down the moon. So we've got the sun and the moon working together. That's our divine masculine and our divine feminine. That is the balance that we're going to achieve. Oh my goodness, I love this. Draw down the moon. It says, the forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild good night. Oh my gosh. Gosh. Draw on the power of the moon and the energy of the moon. Remember, in the summertime, so in the third quarter, we have that moonlight card. There is something about the moon and moon cycles this year for you, Capricorn, that's going to be really important for you and helpful. Also, I'm going to be doing meditations for the moon cycles this year, right? For the new moons and the full moons. So even if you join for those, right? And just do that meditation when the full moon and the new moons come in 2024, that will be beneficial. If you already follow the moon cycles and work with them, great, continue to do so. Or you can always ramp up whatever your practice is. So, wow, this is some powerful stuff. I really like this. I'm looking forward to this judgment thing. What is this call to action? These journeys that we're going on this year, a lot of the journeys are within. It's journeys that are inside. I think there's going to be a lot of change for us this year, which reminds me, if you've made it this far, wow, thank you so much. If you are a female, no, let me back up. If you were born a female and you're between the ages of roughly 35 and 65, so middle age, I call it seasoned, there is some really big stuff happening in the Feng Shui world, 2024 for us. Big, big stuff happening. I'm going to leave a link below to the newsletter that I sent out. I think I'll put it up as a blog, explaining what's going on and what I'm offering for people, at least as a start, to see what's happening and get ourselves set up for success in 2024. So check that out too. I'll put it in the description box and the pinned comment. So we're going to leave it there. And Capricorn, this is a great reading. I hope you're excited about 2024. I sure am. And I can't wait to take the journey with you, my fellow Cappies. So enjoy the rest of 2023. Say goodbye with a happy heart and an open mind going into 2024. We're going to leave it there, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.